And his name is John C.
Druid, the free-range hobo. The class that screams hippie vibes, yet actually is a productive member of society. In reality, Druid is the kind of a class that you pick when you want to utterly humiliate and ruin any D&D campaign through sheer bullshit. Oh, you need to sneak? Well, turn it into something small that no one can see. You need to grapple something? Giant octopus. You need to transport people? Motherfucking giant eagles. I can't tell you how much the wild-shaping asshole in the party can trivialize the game as long as the fucker playing it has more than 2 brain cells to rub together. And yet the otherkin and all the other furry-like abominations in the crowd avoid playing this class, despite literally being able to turn into the creature. Either which way, the Druid opens up the sluice gates for so much cheesing that even Baldur's Gate could not escape it. Hence the strongest build in the game, motherfucking owlbears literally ruffle-stomping any encounter. Okay, so basically, the way Druid works is in twofold, slinging spells and turning into other creatures for utility and melee combat. So yeah, you start the combat by rubbing your wooden stick so furiously that you cast an opener spell, and proceed to morph into the tankiest motherfucker you know. Now, your task is to tank the damage, as most of the time the Bambi you turned into doesn't really have that much in the way of dealing damage except for getting pummeled by the Hunter's 12 gauge. Despite this basic approach to combat, well, it works well. Though you won't be dishing out the most damage of all time, even if you're minding your own business and doing nothing, like Harambe, you're there to be shot at and nothing else. So expect the damage you do go unnoticed, until you die, like Harambe. Then suddenly your squishy party members start dropping like flies. But seriously though, Druid is so unkillable that I've yet to see one keel over. But just in case, if you've ever seen one, immediately call Suicide Hotline. However, like a typical hobo, equipment is a luxury that you simply can't go without, or have it already pawned off for a baggie of shrooms. Now in D&D there's a rule that druids won't wear anything made of metal, which in my book already makes me want to punch the hippies in the face. It's like some bizarre version of fashion veganism. Utterly disgusting. Luckily, in Baldur's Gate, it's not a problem. Still, when it comes to armors and weapon proficiencies, for all I care, you could be a brain-dead slug who doesn't know how sticks work, and you would still be a functional druid. Unlike Steven Seagal. Monk. You don't need armor, nor weapons. Because of the wild shape. Now, being able to turn into animals is really useful. And it gets even more useful when the HP pool of the animal is separate from your own. Yep, this is the part where it gets utterly disgusting. See, when your animal form drops to 0 hit points, you simply turn back to your original form with the original HP that you had before transformation. Yep, on level 2 you already have 2 wild shape charges, and at minimum your own total health pool is twice that of your own party's. How is this not deemed overpowered and D&D still goes beyond me? Why? How? But of course, the drawback of the class is that you won't be carrying too much cool stuff around, and you're pretty much gonna be depending on your class's skills and features to pull you through any situation. Now, in D&D and Baldur's Gate, it gets a little bit depressing at higher levels when the spellcasters are getting really cool stuff, but it's still better what the poor martial classes get. Druids can cast some pretty neat spells when out of shape, or pummel and cheese everything when in wild shape. And that combination kinda creates the biggest bullshit class in the game, where you actively have to try to fuck it up. Alright, level 1, Wisdom. Literally nothing else matters. No, seriously, unlike all the other classes, all other stats are pretty much dump statted hard. Constitution? You have Wild Shape for that. Dexterity? You have Wild Shape. Strength? You have Wild Shape. Get my point? Okay, sure, not on level 1, but how many of you actually play level 1 characters after the first hour of the first session? Unless you are for the first time playing D&D, As for spells. Oh yeah, and also you use Wisdom for spellcasting. Yay! Anyways, for cantrips, Guidance is a must, and then Thorn Whip or maybe Poison Spray. Your pick. But as for the real spells, Long Strider for Baldur's Gate is great, Healing Ward is just in case, Fairy Fire is a must, Enhanced Sleep is really nice, and maybe Thunder Wave or Ice Knife. Oh, and in D&D, Goodberry is great for rest casting. Level 2, Wild Shape.
Fun begins.
First, pick the brand of hoboism. Circle of the Land, the spellcaster in the group. The Moon, the true furry. The wild shape focus. And the Sporal Fungal thing, for those of you wanting to recreate The Last of Us. This one's kind of a bit different and funky. Basically, you sacrifice your wild shaping charge for fungal damage, zombie raising, healing, and some weird stuff. Sure, you get a bit more damage and melee hits and maybe some spells, but much like most necromancers, you're kinda useless, unless you go digging up corpses all the time. And though it is a step above crit fishing, it's still pretty annoying. But speaking of useless, a land druid. Okay, so you can wild shape, but you can't cast spells in Baldur's Gate while you're wild shaped. So, basically, either you don't wild shape and sling spells, for which it seems even the ranger is better suited for, or you turn into a squirrel and get shit kicked out of you. All of this to say, Moon Druid is the best. Whatever spell slots you have, all but the first one will go for healing yourself. Basically, you open up the combat with the spike growth and wild shape immediately. That's it, your job's done. But what animal should you use? Well, unlike D&D, in Baldur's Gate there are very few animals you get to pick from. However, they do level up as well, every couple of levels you get. So then, Badger. Easiest to hit and only redeeming quality really is to burrow, and even that's kinda shit. Bear. Only Moon Druids get access to this one. Strongest level 2 animal and hands down the best one until...
the thing.
Then of course we have Do Not the Cat. Basically a worse version of Minor Illusion since you're sacrificing yourself for the attention, but it's still the best animal. Fight me, dog owners! Spider, a fun helper with surprisingly good utility. And Wolf. Not totally not good, bad boy, ignore... look at the kitty! Level 3, second level spells. As I said, Spike Growth, and that's it. Yes, Hold is good, and yes, you do maintain concentration in wild shape, but Spike Growth. Oh, and other subclasses other than Moon get some spells. Cool, I guess. Nobody cares. Level 4, Hoof Time. Score improvement, Warcaster, or maybe Lucky. You know, it's kind of funny, the Druid is dependent on that one ability score, and even that doesn't need pumping. Seriously, how do you fuck up a Druid? Anyways, at this point all Druids get the Deep Wrath Wild Shape. And honestly, it's not bad at this level, but it quickly falls off. As for the Moon Druid, you also get a Raven Shape. Now, flying is good to get places, but damage and abilities, not so much. Oh, in D&D, by now Moon Druid can transform into a giant octopus and grapple everything. Now, did I mention how bullshit Druid is? Oh god, fuck me! Level 5, extra attack for your wild shape animal. So basically the Sport Druid gets left out. While the Land Druid can pick up haste and some other spell. Which is to say that if you don't pick Arctic or Grasslands at this point, the fuck are you doing with your hobo life? Oh, but as for the third level spells, nobody cares. Oh, okay, fine. Plant Growth and Lightning is pretty decent. Level 6, that's it, game over. No! This is the cutest ROFLSTOMP overpowered bullshit gameplay I've ever seen. No, seriously, whatever bonuses you get from this level, who the fuck cares? You're literally stomping people with this cute motherfucker. Larian already nerfed this, but you're still at level 6 pile driving and not only dealing damage with it, but knocking people prone and then having 2 swipes with advantage because guess what? They are prone. It's just mean and funny. Not only you're disabling enemy this way, but you're also humiliating anything and everything. I mean, who cares that you also can turn into a panther at this point? You can bounce on yourself! No! Why? Why can you pounce on yourself? Oh no! Owlbear already is the tankiest beast in the game, until you get to level 10 and even then it holds up. Level 7. Oh, you can access more spells. Who cares? You can ROFLSTOMP. Oh my god, this is a literal definition of a ROFLSTOMP. Oh, no. Okay, fine. Polymorph good, Confusion good, Blight good. Level 8, another feat. Again, second verse, same as the first. Score, Lucky, or Warcaster. Oh, and also Moon Druid can now turn into Sabertooth. Ah, how cute. Level 9, 5th level spells. Insect Plague is a standout here. Also, subclasses get some extra spells to use, except for Moon Druid, because it's already perfect. That's funny. Level 10, wild shapes can now attack 3 times. Oh, and everyone can turn into a Dilophosaurus. I mean, it's cool and all, but I raise you. Oh, and also every subclass gets something. Land gets, meh. Moon gets Myrmidons, Earth is tanky, Fire has haste, Air has stun, and Water is eating glue. And as for Spore, well, more Spore stuff, I guess. Actually cool Spore stuff, but it somehow feels underpowered. I mean, it is cool that you could be a better Necromancer, but then again... At 11 we have 6 level spells, and from which the Hero's Feast is pointless, Heal is pointless, Sunbeam is cool, Windwalk is pointless, and Wall of Thorns is great. Which leaves us at 12 with another ability score improvement or feat of your choice. And that's the Druid. No, seriously, it feels like a very tilted experience. Trust me. In D&D, it's actually worse. For real though, in Baldur's Gate, only a few select boss battles will stand against the hilarious ROFLSTOMP of the Owlbear, whereas most early game encounters are nullified by the bears. Though when the game came out, it was utterly hilarious to see people do stupid amount of damage, thanks to the Featherfall, Enlarge, and Enhanced Leap being cast on a single creature that turned the typical Owlbear into a hurling meteorite, rapidly closing on any unsuspecting creature. But setting that aside, Spore Druid is rather interesting overall, and different from most classes. However, after the Owlbear stomping, well, nothing really compares, now does it? Digimon, digital monsters, digital something something! It really reminds me of.